Greetings, Stage of Bliss, Kundalini Queen. Today's topic is the masculine feminine energies and the sexual circuit and Kundalini. So how do these all relate? How do they go together? What am I even talking about? So we've been talking about the Kundalini, which is the life force energy that's moving in the spine, right? This is our cosmic energy. And it moves in us, and it's opening more and more through our chakra centers. They are valves. They are like dials that we are getting to learn how to tune in to what's going on there and open to greater experiences, greater perspectives on love, on empowerment, on connection, on communication. We're getting to practice and dial those things in. So this particular video is talking about why the importance of a commitment in a relationship, any relationship, why a non-committal energy is actually disruptive to the Kundalini energy. And here's why. So inside, we have this battery, basically, a positive and a negative charge of energy flowing. And of course, they're alternating currents initially, and they're flushing and activating right and left brain hemisphere, and they're flushing, they're moving like this, but eventually they begin to sync up, and they begin to work off each other, and they begin to become like a powerful battery that energizes us with free energy, that surrounds us with love and creativity and understanding. That is our true essence, is this flow together. So within us, when we have a non-committal energy, if we have an inability to express either our positive or negative emotions, mental states, beliefs, if we have an inner struggle, and be like, I really like to feel my emotions, but I'm totally resisting sharing them, or I'm really going to get into my logical mind, but I'm going to totally disregard that magical, intuitive part of me. This is where there's a non-committal in the relationship within us. Does that make sense? So the positive and negative poles have to get it together, have to commit to an understanding that they're both necessary within us in order for the whole thing to run, in order for us to be a charged battery and not a battery that keeps draining itself. So when that's happening, that means there's an overemphasis on one side or the other, and there's a non-committal in the internal circuitry. So when two people get together, you have an agreement in relationship that you are going to charge one another as well. So there's an inner thing going. Of course, if we don't have this going, we don't really want to try to do this. We want this to be harmonious. But in a relationship, we also then have that same circuitry that wants to happen, this communication, commitment of energies, masculine, feminine. And the feminine energy is like, hey, I'm open to receive the charge, and then from that I create. So if there's a non-committed energy where the masculine energy is not reaching in and committing, then that feminine energy is just almost like an open-ended circuit that's just flailing energy all around. As soon as we get the commitment from the masculine energy to go ahead and charge with the feminine, then we get a full circuit going on. So this is where the importance of commitment is. A lot of people get freaked out about commitment, but you actually don't experience the full potentiality of a relationship if there's not a commitment. It's just like these two live wires who might be complete in of themselves, but if there's an attraction, then the energies of the feminine are being attracted to each other, but they're not being put into the full circuitry. So there's no way to actually know what the potentiality of that communion is. You might taste it, but the longer you stay in non-committal, where there's still an attraction, it's like these live wires that never get to fulfill. And instead you get a dispersal, is that a word? A dispersion, a release of the energies, and in a way that's almost like draining the battery. So until you get that committed energy that is going to self-charge, and really it is like in a commitment, when you have that circuit going on, then you charge one another. And it's only when one person disengages and goes into the indecision that starts draining the life force. It literally does. It disallows the circuit from happening. So if you're going to move into commitment or into relationship, the commitment part is the thing that amplifies the energy field of the two and actually makes the two into one larger energy field, which is going to then enhance and emphasize both of the individual fields. That's just the way the energy works. So if you're frustrated with a relationship that is not in a commitment, it is because you're feeling this Kundalini energy that's actually draining. So this is where it's good to either disengage completely and find an energy that's willing to. And again, people get scared of commitment because it sounds like, oh, I can never get out of this. But you don't actually want to be just in the middle flailing around unless you are having a hermiting time, a solo time. You're always getting into different committed relationships at different levels with people. And this is how the energy flows and new creation happens. Thank you for joining me. This is Kundalini Queen. We'll talk to you next time.